Hello, Year 6. On a Friday afternoon, we're going to start to look at our French work that we haven't touched on for a while. We're going to build up our prior knowledge that we've touched on in Year 5 and elements of Year 6. And then we're going to build in some new vocabulary and some new skills within our French language. Luckily, some of our videos don't just feature my voice. So not only will you be excited, but you'll also be hearing an accurate pronunciation of those elements in French. Today, we're going to be revisiting counting to 20 in French. And I would suggest you try and watch this somewhere where people can't hear you, because otherwise all people are going to hear is your brilliant elements of French. And if they're anything like mine, you might want to do them on your own. Okay, let's see how you get on. Okay, guys. So first thing we're going to do is I'd like you to see if there's any of these phonemes that you feel that you are confident in saying. Okay, so just have a look at these 23 that are on the screen. If there's any that the visual reminders remind you what they should sound like. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go through these, and as we go through these, see if they are the same as yours. Perception. So well done for listening to those the first time. What I'd like you to do now is when we go through the video, if you can, pause after each one and try and repeat it. Okay, and I'll play it once before you pause and once after, and you can see if you think you're sounding the same. So we go from number 1 again. So listen, say, and listen again to see whether you've done it correctly or not. Pause. 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 Okay, we're up to number 10 now. I'm sorry, we've gone forward one by accident. Okay, we're up to number 11 now. Okay, and we'll play number 11 again. Okay, now up to number 12. Number 13. Number 14. Sorry, this is slightly difficult PowerPoint. Number 14. Number 15, probably my favorite. Let's try number 15 again. Okay. Number 16. So think about that sound you make when you're cleaning your mouth with the toothbrush. Number 17, thinking about those horrible snakes. So this is number 17 now. Number 18 now. Number 19, sorry, number 18 again. Then on to number 19. Number 20 there. So that's number 21. So you might want to just jump back through the video. We'll do number 20 again. Number 21. And finally, we'll do number 22 again. And then number 23. And we'll see if we can pause it and play it again, number 20. Okay, guys, I'm sorry if some of those got a bit jumbled up, but fundamentally the idea was that you were trying to listen to them, say them, so practice them, and then just repeat your listening to check whether you're correct or not. Practice those if you can. And now we'll move on to the next page. Okay, now what I'd like you to think about is with these different sounds, where we've got the the visual representation for these sounds, you've got to try and say the sound, and then you've got to try and write down, either on a piece of paper or if you've got a whiteboard like the one at the top of the screen, can you write down the grapheme which you think links to that phoneme? So have a look at that first one, try and make that sound. Well done, you've got Second one, think about those teeth, what sound that would make. That third one then, and if you need to go back to the earlier slides, you can do think about the sound. That fourth one then, so that's a really, really taut sound. That fifth one, then we've got that tooth sound, that seventh sound, and finally those hissing sounds there. Okay, so hopefully you've learnt your graphemes to go with those different phonemes there. Okay, now if you have a look at these numbers, so if you look in the left-hand column, you can see that we've got the numbers from 0 to 10, okay, so from 0 to 10 in French, okay? Within those, can you see if you can spot any of those graphemes that we've looked at within our earlier page? So if you think about 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, do you spot any graphemes within there? Have a look, pause it for a second, see if you identify any. Going through, then you can see in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. You can see now in red, you can see that certain elements of those have been highlighted to show that they are those specific graphemes. Okay. Okay, now we're going to practice some numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to have a go at doing these, where again, I'll press them, you listen, you say, you listen again. So listen, say, listen. Listen, say, listen. Listen, say, listen. Listen, sorry, listen again. Say, listen. Listen, say, listen. Okay, listen, say, listen, listen. 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 Okay, well done, guys. We'll have a look now. Can you guess which this was? Okay, we'll just move through these slides. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys, the slides have gone a bit awry. We can just move through this one and we can see those numbers, and you've practiced those numbers really effectively up to 10. The next challenge is thinking about the numbers that go beyond that. So we can see written out here that we've gone from 1 all the way to 31. Now, again, the PowerPoint's better because the native speaker, or the speaker who's a much more experienced French speaker, pronounces those. I will try and pronounce from 11 to 31, and you can see as I go through how you perceive them. So starting with the middle at the top of the second column. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then into the third column for 21. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Now, if you go through those and try and say them yourself, just to practice them, and we'll practice the graphemes particularly in your work, and then we'll work on the pronunciation when we're back together. Now, les maths. Wow. So for you guys today, what I'd like you to have a go at is doing a bit of math using those numbers. So you've got these numbers on this screen, and you're going to try and utilize those numbers. So 11 all the way to 31, and maybe even some from 1 to 10. And you're going to try and utilize them in addition sentences. So here you've got un et un, and so you could write that out using actual words as un plus un et deux. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, good stuff. Okay, now if you want to, you can utilize the ones that are on the screen now rather than thinking of your own. But what you might want to do is actually think of your own number sentences. So on your sheet, you've got the ones that are on the screen. So, but if you'd like to, you can think of your own, or you might even think of some extra complicated ones for yourself. It'd be great if I see some 24s. So I look forward to seeing your attempts at those. I apologise for my French accent, guys. We're making the best of it we can do. And I look forward to seeing how well you've got on with that.